Hello, my name's Daniel from DDCL. What I'm going to be talking about is something that is either ethical or non-ethical. To me, it is unethical if you know there's a problem. For example, tiles. I got called in to do some work to regrout some tiles because it was missing some grout lines. But when I got there and I started looking at it, I found out the tiles were loose. To me, even if the client wanted just to regrout the lines, I'm afraid I wouldn't do it. I'd have to pass on the job because it would only break in the future again because they're not solid. So what I did to prove the fact was we removed the grout lines around one tile. Then I pried up with a little bit of force on it, and they popped off the floor. It got worse. So once it was off the floor, which was plywood floor, I took a chisel and I removed all the mastic from underneath the tile and off the plywood floor. It just proved that it didn't have adhesion. So what I had to do next was I had to do a little bit of research. Why did it do what it did and solve the problem? So I had to go do a little bit of research, call the manufacturers of the different products and find out what the best product to use to solve the problem of not adhering to the plywood and not adhering to the tile properly. What I found out was kind of interesting. It wasn't what I thought would need to be done, and the agent from the manufacturer told me to use entirely different products. One for the plywood, to seal to the plywood, and another procedure for applying it to the plywood. It had to be applied in two different layers. Scrape a thin layer on first, then use the normal 3/8 notched groove, and then wet the back of the tile a little bit. I mean, just moist, then apply the tile. So it was totally different than what I was expecting. Of course, then I used the leveling systems to make sure it was fairly level. That's it for now. Are you going to be ethical or not ethical is the question. If the client just wanted you to do something and you knew it wouldn't work, are you just going to do it anyways? For me, I'd rather turn down a job and have a happier client, or maybe a mad client at me because I wouldn't do something they wanted to do. But to me, I don't want to take people's money just to do a job. It doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you very much for watching. This is Daniel out with DDCL.